Okay, so there was a rumor about Khabib, and different MMA outlets would report that Khabib was offered $15 million by the UFC to rematch Conor, and then he turned it down.
That came from his uncle, right?
I don't know where it came from.
I covered a little bit on last week's What Else You Got for Below the Belt, and it came from his uncle, pretty sure.
So anyways, Dana White threw out this picture of them all together, Ferguson, McGregor, and Khabib, and it says, he showed the headline, Khabib Nurmagomedov offered $15 million for a rematch with Conor McGregor, turns it down, will fight Ferguson and retire. And then Dana White wrote, this is the number one bullshit. Bullshit, yeah.
Did he back it up with like Khabib's gonna fight this, or did he?
He mentioned later on that he believes the fans want, and that what's right is for Ferguson to fight Khabib next, and not a rematch with Conor. But he didn't say it's gonna be for sure.
Correct.
He said that's the right thing.
Tony Ferguson versus Khabib would be, figure out who's the best lightweight on the planet. But it'd be nice to it was like, this is some number one bullshit. Khabib's gonna fight, and we never back it up with some sort of content. What else you got?
Shout out to Brendan Schaub, shout out to Chin, shout out to Below the Belt. Not satisfied with Dana White's answer. Why? He gave no answer. In my opinion, he just delayed the inevitable. From what I see, it seems like Khabib is willing to give Tony Ferguson a shot. We all want to see that fight. I want to see that fight more than I want to see the Conor rematch with Khabib, right? Here's the issue. When you give Khabib what he wants, you run the risk of obviously delaying the McGregor fight. You run the risk of pushing Conor to do something that he can do. He can leave the UFC, sign with Bellator, and all of a sudden Bellator is the number one MMA outlet in the world, right? Not saying Conor McGregor can, but the fact that he can threaten to do that, right? Simply off the bat of Khabib and Tony Ferguson. Now, I'm not saying McGregor's going to do that simply because I think he really wants to try his hand against Khabib again. I don't think he's going to have a better time than he did before, simply because of what grappling brings into the world of MMA. There is a reason why Saenchai isn't in MMA, my guy. It's because of the ground game. That's a whole nother world of talent. Conor McGregor in that world couldn't even stop Chad Mendes from taking him down. He's no Michael Chandler. He's no Ben Askren. You think he's going to close that gap of talent in a year or a year and a half versus Khabib? It takes a certain kind of wrestler, your Daniel Cormier, your Henry Cejudo, Yoel Romero level of wrestling to go up against Khabib, right? Conor McGregor doesn't even have training partners on that level. In a 5-round fight, that fight ended in 4, right? Conor McGregor for 1 round defended a takedown beautifully, in my opinion. But that was the only bit of good information I got from Conor McGregor's performance against Khabib. That's all I have to say about that. And another thing I would love to address is the fact that Conor McGregor's coach, John Kavanagh, not to be confused with the other Kavanagh, this is the MMA Kavanagh, he said that they were too focused on defense, right? You could argue that, right? But you have a reason for arguing that. That guy's wrestling is next level, right? Let's assume you alter your strategy and get something in where you can actually have some offense. You can't ignore the wrestling. The fact that you guys didn't have wrestling partners or a heavy wrestling training camp with proper Olympians training Khabib. I mean training for Khabib versus Conor, training Conor for that. That just to me proves that you simply weren't ready for the storm that came. Khabib?
So this is a big deal for Asians around the world.
That's huge.
All right, this movie, Crazy Rich Asians, it's top of the box office right
It
now.
was a book too, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Did you guys read the book?
Nah.
It's about time Asians had a movie. This is the first time, right? There was a
Take it easy. Rush Hour 1, Rush Hour 2. Big Trouble in Little China.
Brandon, that
Come
was
on, Big
one
Trouble
Asian
in Little
guy.
China.
Brandon, that was one Asian guy.
Rumble in the Bronx.
That was one Asian guy.
Rumble in the Bronx. Listen, everyone listen. Rumble in the Bronx.
Brandon.
Godzilla 1, 2.
Brandon, these are. I understand, but that was just some Asian actor.
Enter the Dragon.
Brandon, okay, but that was a long time ago. That was all karate. This is about
The Last Samurai.
no karate in this
Tom
movie.
Cruise in The Last
There
Samurai.
are no swords or karate. This is like human beings having like relationships.
Disney's Mulan.
Brandon,
The Emperor's New
Mulan is not
Groove.
Asian. It was Polynesian. God.